Hey, history fanatics, mystery hounds, and curious minds. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, the place where we unearth the past's most mind-bending secrets. Today, we're not just digging into history. We're excavating the very foundations of human understanding. Prepare to have your perceptions shattered, your theories upended, and your jaw on the floor. Because we're diving deep into a mystery so profound, it makes Atlantis look like a puddle. If you're ready to journey to the dawn of time and witness a discovery that sends shockwaves through the academic world, then smash that like button, subscribe for more earth-shattering revelations, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single mind-blowing episode. For generations, the consensus had been clear. Agriculture was the catalyst. Humans, tired of chasing their meals, settled down, planted crops, built villages, and then, and only then, did the complex social structures necessary for monumental architecture emerge. Temples, cities, elaborate art. These were the fruits of a settled agrarian life. It was a neat, logical progression, a story told and retold in textbooks across the globe. Then came Göbekli Tepe. The year was 1994. Klaus Schmidt, a tenacious German archaeologist with an almost prescient intuition, was surveying an unassuming hill near the city of Şanlıurfa. Locals had long known of the Potbelly Hill, scattered with ancient stone fragments, dismissing them as mere gravestones. But Schmidt, a man driven by an insatiable curiosity, saw something more. He saw purpose. He saw design. And as the first shovelfuls of earth were turned, a silent, monumental secret began to emerge from its 12,000-year slumber. Imagine the scene. The relentless Anatolian sun beating down, the dust swirling, and then a shape unlike any seen before. Not a simple hut, not a burial mound, but enormous, T-shaped monoliths, some towering up to 16 feet and weighing upwards of 20 tons. These weren't rough, unhewn stones. They were meticulously carved, adorned with intricate, lifelike reliefs of animals, snarling boars, slithering snakes, predatory lions, birds of prey with menacing talons, and strange, almost humanoid figures with outstretched arms. They stood not in random disarray, but in perfectly formed circles, like silent, ancient sentinels guarding a forgotten truth. The sheer scale of the discovery was staggering. Here, on a desolate hilltop, was not just one enclosure, but a series of them, layered one upon another, stretching back through time. The oldest, dating back to roughly 9,600 BCE, predated the pyramids of Giza by more than 7,000 years. It predated Stonehenge by 6,000 years. It even predated the invention of pottery and, crucially, the widespread adoption of agriculture. This wasn't a village or a city or even a burial ground. This was a temple. A complex, monumental temple, built by people who, by all accounts, should have been too busy hunting gazelles and gathering wild grains to even conceive of such an undertaking. This was the first twist, a gut punch to established archaeological theory. How could hunter-gatherers, supposedly living a hand-to-mouth existence, organize the hundreds, perhaps thousands, of individuals required to quarry, transport, carve, and erect these colossal stones? This wasn't a matter of a few strong individuals. This demanded sophisticated social organization, a shared vision, and a surplus of resources that, according to conventional wisdom, simply didn't exist before agriculture. As the excavations continued, deeper layers revealed even older structures, each one meticulously buried and preserved, almost as if deliberately interred by the very people who built them. It was a ritualistic act of remembrance, or perhaps a way to preserve their sacred spaces from the ravages of time. This deliberate burial, this monumental effort to entomb their own creations, added another layer of baffling complexity. Why build something so magnificent only to bury it? Then came the second twist, the one that truly sent the academic world spiraling. The evidence began to suggest that Göbekli Tepe wasn't built after the agricultural revolution. It might have been the very impetus for it. What if the need to feed the hundreds of laborers gathered to construct these temples, the desire to sustain a workforce dedicated to spiritual endeavors, drove the innovation of agriculture? What if the temple came first and the farm followed? This was a revolutionary concept, not settlement leading to religion, but religion leading to settlement. It flipped the entire narrative on its head. Humans didn't settle down and then build temples. They built temples and then settled down to support their construction and maintenance. Imagine the discussions, the heated debates in university halls. Researchers, who had spent their entire careers building upon the established agricultural first model, suddenly faced a reality that rendered their foundational assumptions obsolete. It was like discovering that the moon was made of cheese after centuries of believing it was rock. The implications were profound. It suggested a level of cognitive sophistication, abstract thought, and spiritual drive in our distant ancestors far beyond what had ever been imagined. These weren't just survivalists. They were philosophers, artists, and engineers, driven by a profound connection to the cosmos. The carvings themselves whispered further mysteries. The animals, rendered with an almost hyper-realistic precision, were not typically hunted for food in the region. They were often apex predators: scorpions, spiders, dangerous snakes. Were they totems, guardians, representations of cosmic forces? And the peculiar humanoid figures, often depicted headless or with detached heads, sparked theories of shamanic rituals, ancestor worship, or even astronomical alignments. Could Göbekli Tepe have been an ancient observatory, its circles and monoliths aligned with celestial events, guiding the spiritual lives of its builders? The sheer logistical challenge of building Göbekli Tepe without metal tools, without beasts of burden, without even the wheel, is mind-boggling. How did they quarry the massive limestone blocks from the surrounding plains? How did they transport them, some weighing as much as 3 elephants, up the steep incline of the hill? The answer remains elusive, a testament to their ingenuity and the power of collective human effort driven by an unimaginable spiritual fervor. And then, the ultimate mystery. Why was Göbekli Tepe abandoned? After centuries of continuous construction and use, around 8,200 BCE, the site was deliberately, systematically buried. Not destroyed, not left to crumble, but carefully covered with earth, layer upon layer, until it vanished from the landscape, preserving its secrets for millennia. Was it a dramatic environmental shift, like the Younger Dryas impact event, that some theories suggest caused widespread disruption? Was it a conscious decision, a ritualistic ending to a sacred era? Or did the very success of their agricultural experiment, spurred by the temple's demands, lead to a new way of life that rendered such monumental communal efforts unnecessary? The answers are still buried, perhaps forever, beneath the ancient dust. Göbekli Tepe is more than just an archaeological site. It's a profound challenge to our understanding of human history. It forces us to confront the possibility that the drivers of civilization were not purely pragmatic, but deeply spiritual. It hints at a forgotten epoch of human ingenuity, social complexity, and a connection to the sacred that we are only just beginning to grasp. As the sun sets over the T-shaped pillars, casting long, haunting shadows across the ancient stones, One can almost hear the echoes of ceremonies performed millennia ago. The sight leaves you dazed, wondering about the minds that conceived and built such a marvel. It leaves you wowed by the sheer scale of human ambition, even in the primitive past. And it leaves you thinking endlessly about what else lies buried beneath the surface of our planet, waiting to rewrite history once more. Göbekli Tepe is a silent testament to the enduring power of human belief, a monumental riddle carved in stone, a temple that not only rewrote history, but shattered our preconceived notions of who we are and where we came from. It stands as a beacon, urging us to question, to explore, and to embrace the thrilling, ever-unfolding mysteries of our past. And the truth, it seems, is far more complex and far more awe-inspiring than we ever dared to imagine.